9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call a meeting to order. And, you had the prayer?
Yeah, I had a prayer.
Okay. Mr. Morris had the prayer for us this morning.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for waking us up to see a new day with good health, strength, and a sound mind. Thank you for your many blessings to us daily. I pray you give us guidance, this board, to make the best decision for the citizens of Jackson County. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. That brings us down to amendments to the agenda. I have a couple. The first one is a survey I have from Batson and Brown. I just want to include it under the consent agenda. Some work they're going to do for us up on state line. And the second one, let me turn, I was going to ask the board under Office of Emergency Services to pull item B, the discussion regarding the shelter task force. I know this is something we probably need to do, but the board has not discussed this and don't really know just what our stance is going to be on it yet, and I was just going to pull that item for now. We can talk about it after this board decides what it wants to do.
Okay, well, what would be the alternative? You don't want to discuss it today?
Not today. This board needs to get together and decide what our position is. We haven't really talked about that. And then come back and have this discussion.
Yeah, I think we have some cities represented today, and I think they're obviously very interested. When would we meet then to do it?
Like I say, we need to talk about it. We should be able to get them back within a month or so, I think.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Morris, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Taylor?
No, sir.
Mr. Ross?
I don't have anything.
I didn't mention before, Mr. Ross is on the phone today. The National Guard has him tied up. Mr. Beausarge?
None.
Mr. Eldridge?
None.
Mr. Fulton?
No, sir.
Mr. O'Neill?
None.
Mr. Palmer?
No, sir, I don't have any. I was just going to comment, Mr. Cumbus, that I did review the proposal from Batson Brown that you showed me that you amended for, and just for the public, it's a $2,500 proposal for that surveying, and that is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Are there any others? Any other amendments?
I have an amendment. Item D, under County Administrator Consent Agenda, is an agreement with Seymour for the Household Hazardous Waste Facility project. We just want to swap out the attachment on that. Nothing is changing on the resolution. It's just an updated agreement form.
Okay.
And I was emailed out on Friday.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew.
Matthew, if I can ask, is the only change, I looked over, the only change was to include a cost figure in one of the blanks?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else have an amendment? All right. No one else? Could I get a motion to approve the amendments as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Morris, a second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No.
Aye.
Thank you. Up next, we got notice to increase assessment of real and personal property. The first one is Randall Real Estate Holdings, LLC, 1310 Cove Avenue, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. This is PIN number 07160048.100. Anyone here represent Randall Real Estate Holdings? If not, could I get a motion to approve it?
I'll move, and I have one related question.
Go ahead, Mr. Taylor?
I noticed the last two items on this part of the agenda, noted they're as published in the Sun Herald. The others are not. Is that any kind of an issue that they were not published?
Nick?
No, it's not an issue. They're issued certified letters if they come back, typically because they don't live there anymore, which is what one of these is anyway. They have moved to file homestead in Perry County. So if they don't sign for them and come back, they get published in the paper. That's considered notification. It's no problem. That happens all the time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll second that motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
The second one also is Randall Real Estate Holdings LLC. Same address, but PIN number is 071-60048.200. Motion by Mr. Beausarge,
Second.
second by Mr. Ross. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Item C is Chevron USA, P.O. Box 285, Houston, Texas, PIN number 3040100. Anyone here to represent Chevron? I'll make that motion to approve it.
I second it.
Have a second by Mr. Morris. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
Item D is Chevron USA, also same address. It is PIN number 01216010.200. Have a motion by Mr. Beausarge. Second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
Item E is Chevron, also same address. It is PIN number 01217050.050. Motion by Mr. Taylor and a second by Mr. Morris. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All right, item F is Chevron USA, also its same address. It is PIN number 01221010.250. I'll make that motion. Have a second by Mr. Beausarge. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Okay. Item G is Terry Smith Jr., 10980 Johns Bayou Road, Van Cleve, Mississippi. PIN number is 02325060.000. And I'll make that motion. Have a second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed, no. All right. Item H is Northco LLC. Address is 458 East Lake Circle, Marietta, Georgia. PIN number is 421-501-89.000. I have a motion by Mr. Beausarge.
Second.
A second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. That's the last one, I believe, isn't it, Mr. Elmore? Thank you, sir. Next up is general public comments. Anyone here for general public comments? Come on up. Just give us your name and address, Mayor.
Casey Vaughn, Mayor, City of Goche, 3330 Highway 90. I just want to thank Supervisor Taylor, Terry Jackson, Chad Brownlow during the winter storm. Them partnership to open a winter storm for the people in need due to urban campers or outdoor friendly neighbors, or also people that were stranded on boats or in RVs. So I want to thank you again for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for general public comments? All right. That brings us down to consent agenda. We'll get a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Okay.
Have a motion by Mr. Taylor. Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All right, let's go over. That took care of 3 pages, didn't it? Department heads. Ms. Wells, come on up.
Good morning. The first item I have is the order approving the claims docket.
I have a motion by Mr. Morris. I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Okay, the second item I have is the resolution authorizing the interfund loans for fiscal year September 30th, 2025.
I have a motion by Mr. Bossarge, a second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Okay, and the last item I have is the resolution authorizing the operating transfers for fiscal year September 30th, 2025.
I'll make that motion. Did you second? Second. And second by Mr. Bossarge. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Ms. Wells. Up next is the Office of Emergency Services. Update on what's going on.
Gentlemen, may I introduce Ryan Heath, late from the city of Moss Point. I'm sorry, Ocean Springs. Ryan is our new deputy director. I think he's going to fit in just fine with us.
Shake a few hands real quick.
He did wash his hands, so they're good. Very good.
Sir. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to see you, sir. I met Ryan the other day. I'm looking forward to working with him.
He's going to be an asset to the county. I think he'll be good for the office and working with the other departments in the city. I think he'll be good with that. As far as an update, Matt's still here. Matt and I and Ryan and Chad met with the contractor on the new EOC, and they promised us, if I'm not mistaken, they would start breaking ground on that thing this week. They said they would be there yesterday. I don't think they made it.
No, I hadn't heard when they're actually going to go up with any equipment, but yeah, yesterday, the 17th, was the notice to proceed date.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Fire station on Saraceno is moving along. I looked at that, probably be finished by April.
May-ish, yeah.
May-ish, yeah. That one's moving along just fine.
I had somebody ask me if somebody was opening a new garage up there. They saw those double bays.
Well, Jack's son goes by there to be a garage.
Yeah.
That one should be done in no longer than that.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
It's kind of where everything is.
Anybody have any questions for Earl? Go ahead.
Could I ask a couple of questions, since we're removing the shelter discussion, that are semi-related, but not precisely, that will help the board hopefully understand where we're all thinking about heading with the task force? Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. General, some things I don't know the answer to. Where do you get funding for emergency management?
General fund?
General fund only?
No,
MEMA?
MEMA gives $100,000.
Nothing from FEMA, MEMA?
MEMA, I think it's $100,000.
Who?
MEMA?
Okay. Is that for shelter?
No, sir. For operation of the office.
Okay. So it could be for shelter then?
I think the way they do that, it's only for operation of the office and expenses of the office.
Okay.
It's for employee salaries and for operation of the office.
Okay. So we get no outside help with shelters?
No, sir.
It would be totally from general fund?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we add the emergency sheltering support plan specific, I'm not going to say it excludes it, it does not include shelters. I'm sorry, cold weather shelters.
Right. That addresses the three 361 shelters that we have up in the north part of the county.
Right.
That's what that plan addresses. And when that plan was laid out and approved by the board, it only included 3 things. One was tropical weather. The other one was flooding, and we're talking about river flooding, or a major hazardous material event where we had to move a large part of the population. That's what those shelters were designed for.
Okay, could we simply modify the sheltering support plan to add cold weather?
I would say,
Would it be that simple?
I would say, once the board makes a decision on what y'all want to do, as far as shelters, whatever way you want to do it, whatever form, you're gonna have to amend the shelter plan to add in the cold weather shelters.
Yeah. Do you think that would be all that would be necessary?
I don't think you want to use those 3 locations. The email I sent y'all, I suggested 2 other locations, because you're going to be so far away from the population base, and most of the population you're serving is either going to be limited means of mobility. They will either going to ride a bike to the shelter, walk to the shelter, or get somebody to pick them up and drop them off. For example, if we opened up a cold weather shelter and we decided to use one in Hurley, well, if you've got people in Goshen that are foot mobile, they're not going to go all the way up there. And that's why I suggested using the county-owned Goshen Convention Center and the Fair Hall in Pascagoula, so the population could easily get to it if they need to. So that was my recommendation.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever y'all want,
Yeah.
but that was my recommendation.
Yeah.
So during a storm event, who manages
Red Cross,
Red Cross? Okay.
as far as a hurricane,
Right, hurricane or anything?
they don't do anything with anything else.
Right. So who would staff these cold weather shelters?
That's going to be up to who wants to pay for what. And whether or not you can get the NGOs to assist. That's what it's going to be. And the reason I suggested those 2 buildings besides being county-owned, the problem is when you reach out to the NGOs, like a church or something like that, which is a problem Hancock County ran into. They had a church that was doing their cold weather shelters, and their insurance said, no, you can't do that anymore. So you're putting a burden on these NGOs. We got the 2 buildings, and if we could use them, in my mind, it's just a matter of coming up with the staffing to run those. Wherever you pull the staffing from.
Depending upon the church, we can't control when the cold weather would come.
Right.
And at least some of the churches aren't big enough to say, okay, we got a separate building that will not
Right.
interfere with any of our activity.
Right.
So
That's another reason I suggested those 2 buildings. That way you're not impacting any one particular church or whatever. Look, and I'm not saying churches shouldn't run a cold weather shelter if they want to. That is not what I'm saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying that the government's going to be involved in it, and I'd rather use a government building so you're not putting the burden on these NGOs.
My question, what responsibility the city's gonna take on this?
That's part of what y'all going to have to decide and help us work through this shelter plan.
That's what's got to be worked out if we're going to do something like this. Yeah.
Earl, do we normally go under a state of emergency when on these cold weather deals?
No. The only reason we did for this last one is because of ice and snow. Look, just to be honest, people down here, you get a quarter-inch of ice or snow, everybody just goes crazy. And it just, for us to function, we're not like up north where they would laugh at us for going under state of emergency. Normally, when you get a cold weather event like the one that's coming up, where you drop down below freezing, down in the 20s for a couple of nights, you would not declare a state of emergency.
So your main expense is gonna be staffing, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Ken?
If any of the cities here would like to jump in and have any comment, please do so. Don't know if you want to or not. But I think it would, since we, the board, are learning.
Pascagoula's interested in hardly any discussion. Obviously, we'll listen more than anything else and let you know that we are aware that there is a definite need.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Supervisor Taylor, I appreciate your efforts to want to lead a stakeholders meeting, committee like task force like Haley Barber did after Katrina. I feel it's desperately needed considering I slept on a cot for 3 nights to serve the citizens of Goshen in the storm. So I just request that each city, depending on the form of government, I think 3 to 4 from each city would be a good number to have on any kind of board you create.
Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the mayor and the board of the city of Longmont, we thank you for the consideration, and we ask that they would be included in support of the effort for the shelter.
All right, thanks. We appreciate it.
No city has independently declared themselves to be a governmental unit, and they're going to do their own emergency management regarding shelters. Have they? I
If
assume.
they have, they haven't told me.
Okay. I assume they haven't.
Yeah, I've heard them work with they
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I like the proposal that you did in that last email, and, I'm sure we can get something going.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, I think we need to make sure that we say emergency shelters, but in general, this task force is going to be to take care of cold weather, which normally wouldn't be an emergency unless some type of ice and snow is involved.
Correct.
So it makes it a unique animal in the fact of shelters go. I'd like to know, Earl, is there a way that if a church or some NGOs want to provide shelters, is there a way that we could provide resources to them so that they can do it without falling into the category of needing the insurance coverage that would have applied if we were using our facility?
The problem I see, and Jimmy can answer that much better than I can because that's a legal consideration. If you don't declare a state of emergency, I'm not sure you can use county resources on private property.
It may be a little bit tough if we don't declare a state of emergency.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, another reason, Mr. Ross, that I prefer, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna do it, we need to control the building so nobody gets denied access or anything like that. And, they're our buildings, we control the buildings, we control what goes on in the buildings. And we're not putting a burden on any of these churches or anything else. And we don't run into that problem of taking county resources or city resources and giving them out to an NGO.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, thanks a lot. They're good comments. We appreciate it. Thank you, Earl.
Okay, I'm sorry, I want to go back to meeting room.
Up next are minutes to public health, which the first one's not till 10 o'clock. We'll move on down to action items. Mr. Fulton?
And I really don't have a lot to report today on action items. We are following some legislation in Jackson. There are a couple bills that we're still paying attention to, including redistricting and some others. Have some meetings up there tomorrow with some of our delegation to talk about our appropriations, the things that we're asking for funding on. And outside of that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, did the proposed bill that was going to require us to manpower the Welcome Center, has that died?
I've heard that it's no longer going forward, but I'll find out more tomorrow.
For those who don't know, the legislature was going to try to
Get the county?
The Welcome Center at the state line, they want the county to provide the manpower to operate the Welcome Center, not the grounds, but just the people that work in the Welcome Center.
Oh, okay.
So,
That'd be first.
yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
State in America that does it that way.
Yeah. Anything on the federal side, Brian?
No, sir.
Different? Okay. Thanks a lot. All right, supervisor items. Up first, we have a resolution approving the form of authorizing the execution and delivery of a tax pledge and security agreement by and between said county and the city of Pascagoula, Mississippi, in connection with an economic development project to be constructed in said city and county and for related purposes. Can I get a motion on that? So moved. Have a motion by Mr. Morris. Second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed, no. Very good. And I didn't have anything. Mr. Morris, you didn't have anything?
Nope.
Mr. Taylor?
No, sir, I have nothing.
Mr. Ross?
No.
Okay, and Mr. Bossard?
Nothing.
All right. That brings us down to closed session. We may as well go ahead and go in, come out, don't you?
That's fine. The only item that I have is the litigation between Jackson County and George County.
Okay. All right. Can I get a motion to move into closed session?
So move.
Mr. Morris, I will second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. We'll be back at 10 o'clock for the minutes to public health.
off of the agenda. Judge Maples talked to Jimmy and Joey and asked if we would not do this at this time because they're still trying to fix the estate on it. It's kind of in a state. So I think that once they get it all settled, that it'll get cleaned up, and if it don't, we'll bring it back at a later time as a menace. But they did ask for us to pull this off, so I think we've agreed to do that.
Out of respect to, and deference to Judge Maples in the court, Joey talked to Marcus about requesting the board pull those two at Judge Maples' request for some short period of time to get the estate finalized. I understand that would be done shortly, Joey?
Within 30 days.
Yeah,
The attorney is filing the taxes this month, should be wound up within 30, 60 days at most.
And then we can address these two with Marcus after Judge Maples is done.
Yeah, we'll follow up and make sure that something's lined out to get it cleaned up, and then long-term, if it doesn't, we'll bring it back to the board.
Just get a motion, we'll prepare an order pulling B and C.
Okay.
To be reset at a time convenient.
Make a motion, we pull items B and C under Minister of Public Health until the appropriate time.
I'll second.
Somebody said.
Have a motion by myself, second by Mr. Bossarge. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, the first item we have on the agenda is property address 6828 Jackson County Line Road in Loosedale. The property owner's name is in an estate, Mulvey and Butler is the estate. We've had no correspondence with the owners whatsoever. Casey, you got the pictures for the... You already got Jackson County Line Road, she came to those two?
Yeah.
As you can see, it's a completely burned mobile home. When we started this menace, there was kind of some homeless people living in it. It was in really, really bad shape. And since then, I guess it caught on fire, and nobody's there now, but we need to get it cleaned up. There's some people that live right next door to it, a nice family, and we get calls from them all the time, and they got young kids, and you know, they're afraid that their kids may venture over in this mobile home and get hurt, and as you can see, it's a definite menace case. We've sent all the notices and everything that we're required to send, so we're asking the board to declare this a menace to public health and safety so we can get it cleaned up.
Are the owners local?
I'm not sure. We've had no correspondence with them whatsoever.
Yeah, that's an old family. It's been up in that area for a long, long time, but
Is it?
There's no telling.
Well, it's in an estate, so
Yeah,
there may not be any heirs, or I don't know.
yeah, okay. Is there anyone here to represent the Butler family? Okay. I'll make a motion that we declare 6828 Jackson County Line Road, Lucedale, Mississippi, a menace to public health and have it cleaned up.
Second.
Have a motion by myself, a second by Mr. Taylor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Now, the next two were scheduled for 10:05 and 10:10, so we'll have to wait till 10:15 for the
Yep, sure will.
next one. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, y'all want to take a 10-minute recess and run to the restroom or something? Anybody needs to go, it'd be good.
You know, get taken, because that's in my district, and I get hammered monthly on them too, so. Troy, you still here?
Troy?
Does everybody have a copy of
Don't see
the,
the light on.
He's right, no.
does everybody have a copy of the pictures for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. The next item we have is 12712 Meadow Glen Road in Van Cleve. The property owner is Jennifer Woodard, and she actually is living on the property in a camper trailer with about 4 or 5 more people in other camper trailers on the property too. There was a mobile home here, and it burned a couple of years ago, and they never did anything since the mobile home burned. They just started camping out in trailers, and now it's just become kind of just a ton of them all together. It's just pulled in there, and they're just living like gypsies out on the property, unfortunately. As you can see from the pictures, they're completely trashed the property. It's terrible. It's a lot worse than what the pictures look like. And, there's some decent houses and mobile homes around it. We're trying to get this property cleaned up, and actually, I think Mr. Robert Lucas showed up today. He owns a ton of property out in that area, and he sold them this piece of property. It's one of those, lease-to-own type deals, so he still holds the deed on it, but he wants it cleaned up too, and he may have something to say to you. But it's really, really bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gotta go.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Thank you, Marcus. Mr. Lucas, you have anything you want to say?
No, sir, and those people bought that several years ago, it needs to be cleaned up, sir, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
You can't, it's several hundred feet off the road, and it's hard to see.
Are they here? Are they here, Marcus?
Is anyone here?
No, they're not here. I thought maybe she might show up, because every time we go out there, she starts crying and whining. But,
Now, how do we handle that when we go out there to clean it up? We have to get the sheriff's department to move the people first?
We've
Kind of
had
like
to
we
do that in
did?
the past, yes, sir. We give them a notice and let them know that what's been done and what the process is. So usually it's the day that we show up with a track hoe is when they'll start gathering stuff and trying
Yeah.
to move it. But
Yeah.
there have been times when, we've had to get the sheriff's department to remove them.
With you once, and we had to,
I might say one thing, it's only 5 acre tract of land,
Yeah.
but it still needs to be cleaned there.
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
make that motion to get it cleaned up.
All right, and
Declare it a menace to public health and safety.
I'll second it, Mr. I have a motion by Mr. Bossarge. I will second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. That's it, Mr. Lucas. We'll take care of it.
Thank you, sir, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next one is at 10:20. We'll have to wait just a few minutes.
First Church in Lucedale, 6 p.m.
Really?
First Baptist.
Wow. I heard he was pretty sick, but anyway, we did have 10:20 yet.
We ready?
Go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, the next item we have is 15009 Garrett Street in Ocean Springs. This is in the Latimer area. The property owner is Nina E. Franklin in an estate also. We've had no correspondence with these owners. We've sent notices at one point, one of our code enforcement people did talk to one of them. I haven't had no correspondence with them, but one of my code enforcement people talked to them, and they mentioned that they wanted to repair it at one time, but they never, they never moved in that direction. So as you can see from the pictures, this is not a repairable structure. This is
Like it's
this is
a
in
little
bad
past
shape.
that, yeah.
They here? Anybody here? for this?
Anybody here?
Nobody has shown up.
All right, I make the motion to declare it a menace to public health and safety.
I have a motion by Mr. Bossard and a second by Mr. Morris. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
This was also the one that we had on last month's agenda that we tabled for this month because of the snow.
Oh, yeah,
Make sure
okay.
that people had a chance to get here if they wanted to be here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate it.
Marcus, thank y'all for getting these things cleaned up and getting them in front of us and stuff.
Yeah.
We're slowly getting there.
All right. Brian, we make an announcement when we came out of executive session?
We did.
Okay.
No action was taken.
Okay, I just missed it. All right. Now, do we want to recess until February 24th?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to recess until February 24th at 9 a.m. I need a second. I have a second by Mr. Bossard. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. That is it.